Hello, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here and welcome to our second Project Pan update of the year. So I have really been enjoying how I've been doing my project this year because I've really just been basing it off of how I know I use my makeup and how I do have a larger collection because I'm always trying new things. So I really love that I've been sort of playing by my own rules. But let's just hop right into it. So first up is my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Vanish. So this is a color corrector. And this one, I think I used a couple of times this month. I could have used it more than I did. Again, my goal on this one is not to use it up. It's just to hit pan because I feel like I've had this for quite a while. Again, I don't need a lot of color correction, so I don't tend to use it that often. That being said, there are definitely days where I could use a little bit of something under my eyes. So I am going to keep this in here because I really do think I can hit pan at some point. So I am going to keep this in. Unfortunately, not as much progress as I had hoped, but I'm still very happy to say that I did use this a few times. Next is my Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. This one I unfortunately only used a couple of times. The reason that I didn't use it that much is because I was testing out the new Makeup Forever foundation and also the Tarte Cloud Coverage. I was testing out those, so I didn't reach for this one as often. Also, something that keeps me from reaching for this one as often as I should is that the shade is just a little bit too deep. I have the shade 2 Neutral, but honestly, it's a little deep. I should have got shade 1. Recently, I picked up the Dior Forever Glow Star Filter, which actually makes my Dior Forever Skin Glow foundation work a lot better. And I'm really excited to mix it in with this. And that will maybe adjust the shade. I'm very excited to try this out because I think if I do that and it works, I'm going to get a lot more use out of this. You can see I have used up a fair bit of this already, but I would love to get so much more use out of this foundation. I love the packaging. I love Charlotte Tilbury. This isn't my favorite foundation. It's one that can definitely feel a little bit heavier if you're not careful and do apply too much, which I don't like. But I am very excited to cut the product with the Star Filter from Dior and see how that works. Next is my Natasha Denona Mini Biba palette. This is my absolute favorite palette from Natasha. I love this one. I think I only used this a couple of times this month as well. So again, not as often as I would like. I was testing a lot of new products and trying to become familiar with them. So unfortunately, I didn't use this one as much as I would like, but I still think I'm seeing a very noticeable dip in that shimmer. I know I will be hitting pan on that shimmer at some point. So once I do that, I will cycle this out, but I am very confident I will be able to hit pan on that shimmer. It's just the most beautiful rosy type shimmer shade. It just looks so beautiful. It's like a rosy nude and it's so flattering on the eyes. It just looks so beautiful, especially with my very fair skin. I just love how it looks. And I always love the look I put together with this. So I'm very excited to have this one in my project. Again, like I mentioned, I've been making up my own rules, and something that I've been really trying to do with this project is just add in products I know I love and that I'm not going to mind reaching for. I'm not hate panning anymore. I did that with one product, it didn't work out, so I've really just got a basket of products that I really like, so I've been loving that. And I love having this in the project as an excuse to use it all the time. My Winky Lux Unibrow Universal Brow Pencil. We did see some progress on this one. Looking at March, the progress is definitely much more significant when you compare it to January. I feel like this has really been the never-ending brow pencil. I am ready to be done with this one, but I still have I would say a couple more months left. I think this is going to take me until at least May. I know it's small, but at the same time, this pencil has lasted me forever. I am excited to be done with it and use some other products, but I've liked this. It's fine. It's got a thicker tip, so it really does fill in my brows a lot quicker. I don't really need something that's super precise to fill in my brows. I just kind of like how this is nice and thick and I can just really easily fill in any sparse areas, comb it out, throw in a brow gel and be done. I don't need something that is super precise. So I'm excited that I'm almost done with this one. I like it just fine. I would repurchase, but I'm excited to be done with it so I can play with some other stuff. Talking about the blushes. So I've been doing more of a usage goal with my blushes. It is so hard to hit pan on a blush, so I've decided that I'm going to have a usage goal this year. And the very first blush I put in was my Charlotte Tilbury Cheek to Chic blush in Pillow Talk. And I really, really enjoyed this one. I rediscovered my love for this blush. At first I didn't think I liked it that much. I rediscovered it around the holidays and just fell in love with it. I have no idea why I was ignoring it for so long. So I decided to put it in, and I initially put a goal of 15 uses, which I am happy to say I have accomplished. And it's funny because looking at the blush, it doesn't even look like that. I would expect a lot more wear from a product that has 15 uses. But again, there's a lot more product in here than we think. So I'm happy to say I accomplished my goal, and I can remove this one from the project. Last month, I also added in a new blush because I knew I was so close to hitting my goal on that one. And I added in my Lawless Make Me Blush Velvet Blush in Vintage Love. So this is one that I put in because I really, really like this formula. It's just very soft and blendable, and it just looks really, really beautiful. It gives sort of like an airbrushed look to the cheeks, and I love that. But the shade Vintage Love is a little deep for me, so I thought this would be the perfect time to put it in. I just feel like it's a little bit more fitting in these colder months to have a shade like this. And I got 6 uses. I did drop my usage goal for my blushes down to 8 because I felt like that would allow me to cycle through a lot more blushes and get use out of a lot more of my collection. So I set a goal of 8 and I used this 6 times, so I'm going to leave it in until I of course finish the 8, but I will be adding another blush in at the end of the video. My Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Bronzer. I love this cream bronzer. This is my all-time favorite cream bronzer. This is another product that really lasts forever, and I think you can tell that I've really been working on this one. I reach for this almost every single time I do my makeup. Occasionally I'll throw a powder on top, but not always. I often just use this alone because I just love the way it blends into the skin. This is more of sort of a moussey consistency. So it is pigmented, but it is just so blendable. It melts into the skin. It looks so beautiful and flawless. I love this bronzer. I love the color. I love the tone. I love everything about it. It's massive. It's really gonna last forever. But I do want to hit pan because for a product that I love this much, I should have pan in it. So I'm still working on it. I can see a noticeable dip. I would say, I feel like I'll have pan on this by the summertime, like July is what I'm estimating. Again, this is just a really, really big bronzer. I love that I have a cream in here so I can also cycle in different powders. Not in my project, but I can just add in different powders that I can put over top if I want to. I love this bronzer. I think it's wonderful. And the most exciting update is my Kosas Cloud Set because I hit pan on this. And I am so excited. I was so shocked when I actually did hit pan. So you can see it right in the middle. And I'm starting to sort of branch out around here as well. I was not expecting to hit pan on this so soon. I thought there was a lot more in this than there actually was. I was so excited to have pan in this. And of course, that's a pretty significant pan as well. So I'm very, very happy with this, very proud of this. I do love this powder, but because I have hit my goal of hitting pan, I am going to cycle this out for a little bit. I might bring it back in later in the year, depending on how the rest of the project goes, but I am going to cycle it out for now. That being said, I am adding in 3 new products. So I will be adding in a powder to replace my Kosas, and I'm going to be adding in my Pat McGrath Sublime Perfection Blurring Powder. So this is an under eye powder, but of course you can use it all over the face if you want to. I usually just use it under my eyes and in the T-zone. So this one does have a bit of a dip right in the center, but this is one that's been in my collection for quite a while, so I would like to get a lot more use out of it. I also just really, really enjoy this powder, so I thought it'd be fun to have this one in for a little bit. The majority of the pressed powders in my collection have pan, which I love that I can say that. So I thought I would add this in and see if we can hit pan on this one. And since I only have 2 more uses of the Lawless blush before I meet my goal, I decided to bring in another blush. And I've added in one that is pretty new to my collection. I've decided to add in the Natasha Denona My Mini Dream Glow Blush. So I know this is very new. I just tried this recently, but I can't stop thinking about it. So I decided I'm going to put it in with a usage goal of 8 and see if I can use it 8 times, and then I will bring something else in. But because I can't stop thinking about it, I decided that it would be really fun to just add it into my rotation for this month. So I'm happy to have this in, especially because it's been on my mind. And finally, I've also decided to add in a setting spray. So I've decided to add in my Lawless Seal the Deal setting spray. This is actually in a Charlotte Tilbury bottle. I've got it labeled though that it is my Lawless. So the bottle that this came in looked really pretty. It was one you were supposed to shake, and it had a really fine mister, but in no time at all, the mister sort of broke down. I think it got jammed. I really don't know. It just got messy. It was everywhere. And that fine mist, it was just starting to spurt everywhere. It was terrible. So once I used up one of my Charlotte Tilbury setting sprays, I poured my Lawless in here because this mister never acts up. It's just great. And I'm already down to here with it. So I don't have a ton more of this to use, but I think I have enough that it will add in a fun little challenge. I'm just interested in using this up so I can just repurchase my Charlotte Tilbury. I have another Charlotte Tilbury of this size that I'm working on, but it is really low as well. So once I finish this up, I'll probably just continue ordering the Charlotte Tilbury. I've been using the Cali Ray and I like it, but I really don't know that it has the lasting power that the Charlotte Tilbury does. So I will just repurchase that one, but I thought it would be fun to have this in the project as well. And that is it. I am actually quite proud of the progress I made this past month. Of course, some products didn't meet the goals that I wanted, but I'm really excited to see that brow pencil getting lower. I'm excited that I keep meeting my usage goal on my blushes. I can tell my bronzer is getting low. I like that I've added in some new products. I'm thrilled to have pan in my Kosas. So that is it for this month. Let me know if you're running a project pan. How's it going? How you doing? What unique sort of rules do you have for your project that you think are fun to implement? Let me know. I just love hearing from you guys. So let me know down below. That is it for me today. Thank you so very much for watching. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload new videos every single week. And that is it for me today. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!